Hi, everyone. Welcome to the sunny side of San Diego. If you are joining us, then you'll realize, if you're joining us live, then you'll realize we're doing this videotape, and we just did an episode right before this. That's the secret of technology. So if you're listening to the podcast, this is probably a couple weeks out. And my name is Vinnie, my co-host over here.
Carini.
There we go, Michael Carini. Today we're talking about Quarantine Holiday Edition. So by the time this is out, it should be about Christmas time. So we kind of just want to go over what people are doing, and I guess what we're doing during the holiday season. Do you have any plans, Michael?
I'm not the type to normally have things planned for the holidays, but as I do get older and get more nostalgic by nature and the clock starts ticking, I've been thinking that I've, in recent years, wanted to get to doing more holiday stuff. And naturally, this year kind of put a halt to all of those holiday goals, all those dreams, all those things that I wanted to do. So I'm not really sure what the plan is for Christmas. I'm not really even sure what's going to be open. I know that Thanksgiving was a very different situation because here in California, there were restrictions that were, I don't know how well enforced they were, but that people weren't supposed to get to larger than a hand. So
what were you trying to do? What plans were you trying to do?
For the past couple of years, one thing that I've done every year, whether it was on my own or somebody, was go see How the Grinch Stole Christmas at the Old Globe. I did get a tree this year. I have not done that. That's something I could kind of do, though. But I think that just the idea of going.
I was going to say, if someone's listening right now, the Old Globe Theater is Balboa Park. So if you're not familiar, if you're new to San Diego or you're coming to San Diego, the Old Globe Theater, when you cross the bridge from the kind of Bankers Hill, kind of Hillcrest area over there, you cross the bridge, it's going to be on your left-hand side for the Old Globe. So just want to jump in just so people weren't aware of it.
And I come from the other direction because I usually run through. So I come down past the Space Museum, all the way down, and then in that case, you pass the Museum of Art, go a little bit further, and then it would be on the right. But it's beautiful. They have the big tree up that they always put up for How the Grinch Stole Christmas. So they do still have it up. I got an email. I think they are doing the play via a radio performance, which is nice. You know, it's wonderful that they're still doing that. And so I'm thankful. But there was something so fun about putting on a red jacket and going, seeing that, having some hot chocolate, watching the performance, seeing the live show. It was just really magical.
Yeah, I mean, I did it with my nieces and nephews, and it's a fun time, especially when they put the tree up. The day they put the tree up, and you see it gets packed with people, and of course they're gonna do it now, but yeah, that's kind of a nice thing. I actually posted something on Facebook. I was kind of curious of what people have like for traditions, like do on a daily basis. And I think the closest thing that I have or my family has is Secret Santa, right, with all my siblings. And so at the last second, we were talking about maybe not doing it this year, and I'm glad we're actually going to do it this year. So that's going to be one thing. But I was talking to someone, and they're telling me what they do is they go by Santana High School. I forgot the street they said, but there's like a row of homes that have really decked out lights. So I think I'm going to plan to go do that. But yeah, I mean, just trying to find some kind of level of normalcy that you can kind of do during the holidays. And I mean, you might not be able to be around all the loved ones you have, but still finding ways to do things together. And like, I mean, I was trying to think of ideas of like maybe doing a virtual board game or something like that with people that I can't be around. Or I know when this all kind of started, I was doing like hangout and things like that, and we take a shot together, or I mean, play games. And that's been kind of left by the wayside, I think, the longer we've been in this platform. But yeah, so we'll see. how we what we do during the holidays. Do you have any other
Secret
plans?
Family
Oh,
sounds like fun.
what'd you say?
Secret Santa with the family sounds like that'd be kind of fun to do, especially if you have a
Yeah, I
big
mean,
family.
yeah, I mean, we've done it. We've done it every year. Um, we've done it where we've done you had to make the gift. We've done other ones where it had to be funny. Other ones where it had to be, just a variety of different ones. My claim to fame is one year I did it where I I never really made Jello growing up. I went to boarding school, and I don't know, maybe that's not an excuse, but I never really made Jello growing up, and so I didn't really look at the instructions of how to make it. And I was like, all right, I'm gonna make vodka Jello, right? So I've had a lot of vodka Jello shots. I was like, I'm gonna make it. It'll be kind of funny, and then I'll pass it out to my siblings. Oh, it was so horrible. I made it all wrong. I didn't know you can make basically it all wrong. But
So elaborate. How do you make it wrong? I don't know how to do it myself, but I'm curious. Like, how can you go wrong with that?
well, I think you're supposed to boil the water first, right? And then you put the stuff in there, and then you mix the vodka with the Jello and water, I believe. Now, if someone's listening and they know a better way of doing it or another way of doing it, but I did it the second time afterwards, and I was like, okay, this is a lot better. But the first time I took it, it was pretty rough. So that was trying to bring some levity to the holiday season that year. But yeah, I mean, it's trying to find something that you can uh, do with your family, do with your loved ones. I know some people were still able to do Friendsgiving, right? The whole Thanksgiving thing with friends last month, and it'd be interesting to see what people do during the holidays. I mean, I'm thinking my guess is that people are going to be a little more relaxed on meeting up with other people than they were basically during Thanksgiving.
Yeah, and what it just dawned on me is that means that there were probably no holiday parties this year.
Yeah, I mean, no ugly Christmas parties. But I'm just thinking that people are. I mean, I think a lot of people are getting fed up with the whole quarantine thing, and it's. I'm curious of how many people are actually going to abide by it and not go to a big gathering. I mean, that's the thing that I'm very curious about. I know when it first started, it seemed like more people were on board with the quarantine, staying away from people, social distancing, and I wonder if that's going to be the case during this Christmas time.
It's starting to feel more and more like people are just deciding to take their own lives into their own hands and accept responsibility for the decisions that they make in that regard. I know for me, the family tradition that I have, and I never really thought of it as a tradition, but I guess it is the thing, would be that my mom would cook lasagna. But this year, my family has moved, so they are now in South Carolina, and with travel restrictions, because I also have family in Pennsylvania, and my grandfather just recently passed, so there were discussions of us getting together, but you are not allowed to travel into Pennsylvania unless you are from Pennsylvania right now, unless you go through, I think, like a 14-day quarantine process and have
Oh, wow.
papers validating that you've been tested. So it's crazy the times that we live in right now.
How are they looking at it in South Carolina and you said Pennsylvania, right?
In South Carolina, they do not care. They're just going about their lives, which, quite honestly, is what I feel is probably best. I mean, I'm all for social distancing. I'm all for wearing a mask. I have no problem doing that. But I think that once somebody else steps in and says what businesses are essential and what can stay open versus what can't, I think that it's not a level playing field. I think that there are definitely some things being benefited off of in that scenario. I mean, how are some of the things that are open right now? How is this essential, but a playground is closed? Things like that is just, it's not really making sense to me. I think it's an effort. Looking at it on the bright side, I think it is an effort to try to do something to appear that you are doing something, taking action. But I think that it's a bit nonsensical the way that it has been handled. But I don't think that we were prepared for it. So I think that when everything hit the fan, that some decisions were made that were not necessarily the best decisions, and that has not necessarily alleviated the situation in the long run.
Yeah, I mean, to play devil's advocate, I'm not backing any kind of politician. I mean, I think our systems, I mean, fairly corrupt. I think most political systems. I mean, if you look at it with anyone, most people when they get some level of power, they abuse it, right? I mean, that's the idea. It's just a matter of how much power they need before they start abusing it. And I think it's probably difficult to figure out, okay, well, what's essential and what's not essential. I mean,
Yeah.
when you start breaking it down with strip clubs being open now, but gyms aren't open. And I know that wasn't the original plan, but now it got turned, right? That they can allow strip clubs to stay open. You start going, okay, come on. I mean, if it got turned on that just out of common sense, then you're pretty much should be opening up to other places. I know that wasn't the original plan, but I mean, it got overturned. I mean, it's trying to find a level playing field for the different small businesses, and I think it's tough because I think it's almost like you have a levee or something like that, holding back the water, right? And they had a basically hole in the wall, and now some of the water's coming out. And so they're trying to stop that, but water's still getting out and all these other holes so they can open up the floodgates, right? Or start relieving some of the pressure. But they're instead trying to basically hold all the holes and just kind of see how long they keep this going. And I think the longer it goes, the more holes start opening, the more water starts flowing through it, and the difficult it's going to be.
Yeah, and I know one thing that I've heard people say, and I don't know how it would be implemented because I think it would be very difficult, but I thought was a great idea was how about shutting down some of the big businesses and allowing some of the small businesses to get business that they wouldn't have had so that people could be introduced to the community businesses. Because then we're not talking about the big things, shipping things cross country. We're talking about supporting the local. But how they would implement that, I don't know. But I think there is a lot of truth to the fact that whenever anybody gets power, even with the best of intentions, there is a battle of corruption.
Well, the market's still open, right? The Little Italy market, right? And those kind of places.
The farmers markets are still open in limited capacity. They limit which types of vendors are allowed to be there. There is a line to get in. So when I went on Sunday to the Hillcrest market, it took about probably like 10 minutes to get in. It wasn't that bad. But I know for a fact that avoid Sprouts in my neighborhood at all costs because every time I go there, there is a line wrapped around the building. And I am not seeing or understanding how standing in groups of people outside lined up around the block is a better scenario than just getting into the store and getting out and going home. Because now we're being forced to be in public longer than we need to be. So
are they scanning you?
That's making it any better.
Gun?
What's that?
Are they scanning you with a temperature gun?
No.
So what are they doing in the line? Are they just holding level of capacity?
Yeah.
Back?
Yeah. But it wraps around the block so people are basically in the same proximity, but outside for longer periods of time. Wouldn't it make more sense to just allow people in, get done what they need to get done, stay 6 feet apart, and be done with it? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Well, I wonder. I know they were doing that before, like at Walmart and I mean, I guess they still do it at Target because I did it the other day, where they have a capacity level that they have to hold off on. I mean, I would think being outside, I guess they don't want a lot of people in one small area, but that's, I guess that's a difficult thing to manage. But anyways, I mean, positive. Focus on the holiday. Focus on the loved ones. I mean, right now, I mean, you can see, at least you can be kind of social distancing a little bit, drive in the areas that have the nice lights. I mean, I wish I knew the street, but by Santana High School, we're going to be there. Get some hot chocolate, maybe throw a little Bailey's in there if you want to get a wild. And I mean, try to find ways to at least enjoy the holidays and make some kind of level of normalcy, I think, during this difficult time.
I'll definitely be walking the neighborhood. I've been doing that a lot more. and seeing the lights. So that's kind of nice. It is refreshing. I do miss Jungle Bells because Jungle Bells is what they usually do at the zoo, where the zoo's open late at night, and they have the lights up so you can go walk around there. It's difficult to see the animals because they don't put extra lights on the animals, nor should they, because the animals should have their environment to be able to live as they need. But it's just very pretty and it's fun to walk around, and I do miss that. So I'm thankful for the things that we do have, but I also recognize what we've lost, and I honor that, and I do hope that we get back to that at some point. But I am very much appreciative of the things that I do have this year. So I think it is very much a year to count our blessings and to think of the things that we are thankful for. But perhaps it also does raise awareness to the things that we want in our lives, the things that we miss, and the things that maybe we want to appreciate more in the future when we do get back to hopefully a state of at least more normalcy. I say with hesitation.
Yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening to the sunny side of San Diego with Vinnie and Carini. Please subscribe. Please share and join us for our live. We do this every Wednesday, 7:15. Usually every Wednesday, 7:15. We'll be talking about that. See if we're gonna do it next week or if we'll hold back. But yeah, please subscribe, please share, and if you're live with us, you can comment and we can kind of go over questions and ideas that might pop up. Have a great one, guys.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and we want to know what you want to talk about.